guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. For today's video, I asked you guys on my Instagram story if you guys had any questions for me about my Disney college program. For those of you who don't know, I did participate in the Disney college program from fall of 2016 to January of 2017, and I vlogged my whole experience, not the whole experience because it was very difficult for me to find motivation and free time to vlog during the Disney college program. So if you guys want to watch any of those vlogs, I do have a Disney college program playlist on my YouTube channel, so go on over and give them love. It is a lot of fun and there's some pretty quality moments during those vlogs. I've been missing Disney a whole lot lately. It is literally like my second home. I cannot explain to you how much Disney means to me. Ever since I was very, very little, I have loved Disney. It's always been a safe place for my mind to go to escape anything that I'm feeling. So yeah, we're gonna do a whole video on it. And if you guys like this video, I don't have the best memory, which is very worrisome. I don't know if I could do like story times from the Disney college program, but I did write in this journal a few different times during the program. So I do have some diary entries I could definitely read to you. If you guys would like to see that, comment below and let me know if you guys want me to read my DCP diary for ya. Let's dive into the questions. We did get a lot of questions, so everyone who did ask a question, thank you so much for doing so. I really appreciate it. And let me find the first question. The first question says, what person had the most impact on you when you were in the program? And this is a tricky question because I adored some of my roommates, keyword on some. One girl we didn't ever really talk to, and we don't really talk about the other girl. But my two very best friends during the program, the two girls that kept me the most sane were Andrea and Katie. And we had this running joke that Katie was my other half and Andrea was my daughter, because Katie and I are literally identical in our likes and dislikes mostly, and we got along so well. She loved elephants, and it's just, we literally were like the same person. So she was my other half, and then Andrea was a lot younger than us, so she was naturally my daughter, and she was my park buddy. We would go to the parks all the time together because we had the most days off together, and that is one of the memories that I'll hold very dear, is just going to the parks with her whenever and having the best time ever. Those are the two people that had the most impact, and on rough days I would turn to them and they would be very, very kind and supportive to me. So love you girls, and I miss you so very much. Next question is, what were your most favorite and least favorite moments during your time in the program? My most favorite memory would probably be the Halloween party. Halloween is my all-time favorite holiday, for those of you who don't know. I love Halloween. It is my favorite time of year. Fall is my favorite season, and I just love everything that has to do with Halloween and fall and pumpkins and all of that jazz. And so during my program, since it was in the fall, I got to experience the holidays at Disney, which was something that if you guys have not gotten the opportunity to do that, I would highly recommend it, because the holidays at Disney are so fun and so magical. They go above and beyond, and it is amazing. So I think my favorite memory from the program is going to the Halloween party with Andrea. We had one of the best nights ever. The Hocus Pocus spectacular show is incredible. I know I've seen a lot of people, because I've been binge watching a lot of Disney vlogs because I'm missing it so much. And a lot of people, when they go to the Halloween party and they see the Hocus Pocus, they're like, oh, our Hocus Pocus actors were the best. They were exactly like the characters. But I'm not kidding you. The people who played Winnie, Sarah, and Mary were spot on. I'm not joking. I think that we got the best cast ever that night, and it made the show so incredible. I actually vlogged the Halloween party. It's one of my favorite vlogs. Whenever I'm sad, I go and watch that video because it makes me smile and laugh so much. but I vlogged it, and so if you guys go and watch that video, you guys will see it literally is like the real actors from Hocus Pocus were doing that show. It was incredible. My least favorite memory is, I don't know, work was really hard sometimes. If you guys don't know, I worked at World of Disney, which is the largest Disney merchandise store in the world. And it is located in Disney Springs, or downtown Disney. It used to be called downtown Disney. Work was really hard sometimes because in a big store like that, you don't really feel like you matter because there's so many other cast members there and you just feel like this little tiny speck, and it just didn't feel like a family, in my opinion. I know people who have worked there feel like it's a family, but for me, it didn't really feel like that. So work was really hard sometimes, and so I think that was my least favorite, but also sometimes work was really fun, so it just depends on the day. Another least favorite memory, I think my girls will know about a roommate, and we'll just leave it at that because we're not gonna tear people down here and we're just gonna be positive, so yeah. Next question is, what's the best food in the park? Okay. So I didn't really go to any fancy restaurants. The only time I went to a fancy Disney restaurant was my last trip to Disney, but I didn't really have a choice in the matter. So I ate a lot of times in the quick service food and beverage places. So I will try to narrow down. Maybe I'll do the best food in every park. We'll do it like that, okay? So in Magic Kingdom, my favorite place to eat was Pecos Bill, which is located in, I believe, Frontierland or Adventureland. I'm not sure. I think it's Frontierland. And it's just a quick service food and beverage place. They have a nice little sit-down area to stay out of the humidity and the heat because in Florida, it gets really hot and really humid and really sticky and you get really sweaty. It's really gross. I definitely don't miss that. But Pecos Bill, you go in and you order your food. They have like burgers and salads and just American style food, and so there's something for everyone. There's also tacos, and it's really good for a quick service food and beverage place. And I would always go and eat there. Me and Andrea really liked it, and whenever we were in the park, we're just like, okay, let's go to Pecos Bill. It's really simple, easy. You can sit down, nothing complicated about it. So that's my pick for Magic Kingdom. For Animal Kingdom, my favorite place in Animal Kingdom was Flaming Tree Barbecue, which is located in Discovery Island, I believe. And it is barbecue, so you can get like barbecue chicken, you can get ribs. It's so good. The chicken is so good, and it's just, that's all I gotta say about it, is Flaming Tree Barbecue is seriously just the best, and I love it, and yeah, that's all I got for you. Hollywood Studios, the first time I ate here was last March, and I want to make it a thing whenever we go to Hollywood Studios to book reservations here because the experience is so fun. It is completely up my alley and something that I really enjoy. So it's called Sci-Fi Dine-In, and basically what it is you go into the area and all of the booths that you sit in look like cars, and there's a big screen playing old-timey fake movies, which is hilarious. Some of the titles of these fake movies are so funny. And you just sit there and it's like you're in a drive-in theater and you're eating food. It's just normal food, American style food. But the experience overall was so fun. I'm a very plain Jane when it comes to food. I don't like to experiment too much. So if it has a burger or chicken fingers, I'm set and good to go. So that's exactly what Sci-Fi Dine-In is. They have milkshakes and it's really just, it's a lot of fun. And Epcot. So Epcot is my least favorite park. I think the only times I went there on my Disney College program were like 3 or 4 times. Epcot for me is too bland in my opinion. Don't come for me, Epcot lovers. I know people who love Epcot are like diehard Epcot fans. The only good thing for me at Epcot is Soarin'. Other than that, I could just never go there and be perfectly fine. That's just completely my opinion. And I don't really remember eating there. The only place I remember eating is the restaurant in Italy, and they had pizza, and their pizza was okay. It wasn't great, but I think it's because it was authentic Italian is probably what they did. But yeah, I don't have much to say about Epcot because I don't really go there that often, so I don't really have a favorite place to eat, so I'm sorry about that. What is it like behind closed doors with your coworkers? Do you swap stories? So Disney is very magical and very wonderful when you're on stage, and that's basically like, we call it on stage when you're in the parks and you're experiencing things as a guest. But then we have backstage, which is where all the coworkers hang out, where they clock in, where they take lunch breaks, all of that jazz. It's where the coworkers and cast members all hang out. So it's not the most magical thing in the whole world. It is just like any other job where the stage is really nice and then the backstage is just kind of poopy. So backstage wasn't really the place to be. In World of Disney, we had a huge backstage area because it's a huge store. And whenever we were back there, yeah, sure, coworkers would talk about guest interactions that they had. Nothing bad, nothing crazy, because we all tried to keep a positive mindset throughout the day. But yeah, it's just like any other job. You go backstage to escape what's going on if you're having a rough time at work, and talk to people and do some backstage stuff, like put go backs back in their bins, and yeah, so pretty much all that is. Did anyone ever complain using the phrase, "You're ruining my Disney magic"? I don't know if they've ever said that exact word, but definitely if a guest comes up to you and they're looking for a piece of merchandise that you are no longer carrying or don't have in stock in store and you can't find it in any other place, yeah, well, they're definitely disappointed. I've witnessed a few coworkers having really bad guest interactions where the guests will literally scream at them for not doing the best that they can, when in reality they are doing the best that they can. It's just they're not hearing the answers that they want to hear. So I've definitely experienced that. I do remember one time there was a guest at a register, and when I forget exactly what it is, so if people who are part of the Disney College program know what I'm talking about and I'm completely butchering what it is, please comment below and tell me. But there was this thing that if a guest either returned something or you wanted to make a magical moment or something, I don't remember when it was used, but we could write them a card with a certain dollar value on it and they could use it to purchase something in the park. I totally forget what it is, but there's a thing that happens where you can do that. And I remember this one guest comes up to the register and is trying to buy a crap ton of stuff and use this thing for all of it. It was like over $300 worth of stuff, whereas the card was like $50. You can spend it on something that costs $50. And I remember a leader was there and a cast member there, and they were just not accepting it. I was being a runner during that shift, so I was taking stuff from the go back container and running it back to the backstage area. If you guys want me to go into like how World of Disney works and all of the different positions you can be put into, please comment below and I'll definitely do that. But I was in that position and I was getting all the go backs to go back into my tub, and I just remember the guy getting so mad and trying to abuse the system so much, and I think ultimately they ended up winning and being able to purchase all of this stuff for free, essentially. At Disney, people are on vacation and they're already really mad about spending all of this money, and so they try to get as much free stuff as possible. I don't blame them, but they can also be very nasty about it and very entitled because they are on vacation and we're Disney and we're supposed to give them everything they ever asked for. So I do remember that, but I don't remember them ever say, "You're ruining my Disney magic." So hope that answers that question. Another question is, what park did you work in? So I unfortunately did not work in a park. I was placed in World of Disney, which is in Disney Springs, which is the little, like, it looks like a shopping mall type place. I remember when I got my, when I went into the casting building and we all got our paperwork that told us where we were working, it said World of Disney, and I was like, well, what park is that in? And they're like, it's not in a park, it's in Disney Springs. And I was absolutely crushed because I had gotten hired at Disney and I was so excited to experience the parks from a different perspective and to be in the parks all the time and work with people there. And when I heard that I wasn't in a park, I was like, what's the point of being here then? I'm not even experiencing what it's truly like to work for Disney. And I was completely crushed. But I tried to look at the positive side, and I think that it was a good thing just for the sheer fact that when I did go to the parks, it didn't feel like I was going to work. I very rarely went to Disney Springs voluntarily unless it was for work, because it did feel like going to work. So I worked at World of Disney and it was quite the experience, and yeah, that's all I gotta say. Would you change anything about your experience if you could go back? So the one thing that I would change about my experience was I would pick up shifts in different parks. So as a merchandise cast member, you have the ability to pick up shifts from different places because all of the merchandise trainers or all of the merchandise cast members are trained the same way. So it's kind of a universal job in any store. Except for the stores that do like photos at the end of the ride, you have to be specially trained for that. So like Rock and Roller Coaster and all of that jazz, you have to be trained for those positions. But as a cast member, you can essentially work anywhere, and I never took advantage of that. I didn't work anywhere else in the parks to experience the parks. I know a few people gave away a lot of their shifts at World of Disney just so that they could work in different locations, so that essentially they weren't working at World of Disney, they were working in the parks. And I wish I would have utilized that system because I think it would have been a really neat experience. It's just, it really stressed me out thinking about going to the costuming department and picking up different costumes for different shifts. So I just never did it, and that's something that I regret because I would have loved to work at the pirate shop, in a Magic Kingdom or an Animal Kingdom at one of the stores, but what can you do? You can't change the past, you can only change the future. What was the most difficult thing about the DCP for you? The most difficult thing about the Disney College program for me was being away from my family and my animals. And I think that's a very generic question all across the board if you ask anyone who's been part of the Disney College program, especially during the fall program when you have to experience Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's all away from your family for the first time. So I have never moved away from my family apart from the 6 months that I was part of the Disney College program because I'm lucky enough to live here and I went to college and I commuted to college. So this was the first time I was living on my own and away from my family, and having the holidays on top of that away from your family, and also my birthday falls in October. So that was definitely the most difficult part. But I tried to think of it as it's only 1 year. I get to experience all of this next year with them, so I can push through this. And I had wonderful roommates like Andrea and Katie who kept me very positive and happy. And we actually celebrated, me and Andrea celebrated New Year's together, just hanging out on the couch watching the ball drop. And so that was a lot of fun. But that was definitely the most difficult part, is experiencing the holidays without my family. What was your absolute best memory from it all? Also, I love you, beautiful. I love you too, Karka. My favorite memory, I guess just going to the parks. My favorite park ever is Animal Kingdom. I love it so, so very much. And whenever I was anxious during the program and I didn't really want to do anything, but I wanted to go to a park to make me happy, I would always pick Animal Kingdom because as soon as I walked into that park, I felt at home and at peace, and all of my anxiety washed away. And I think it has a lot to do with animals because I've always loved animals so incredibly much. So yeah, my favorite memory is probably just going to Animal Kingdom and doing whatever I wanted. I think that's the best memory of it all, is just having unlimited access to the parks whenever you wanted. If you wanted to escape and something. And also, I went to the parks alone a lot of the time because my roommates, their schedules never really aligned with me. So if I wanted to go to the park, I would go to the park by myself. And I know a lot of people are like, what? That's crazy. Why would you do that? But it's actually one of the best things ever is going to a Disney park by yourself, because you have no one else to rely on for like what you should do, and you can just do whatever you want. And if you want to go ride Kilimanjaro Safari 10 times, you can do it. If you want to eat ice cream at this certain place, you can do it. Which, by the way, the best ice cream place in Animal Kingdom is the little blue truck by Expedition Everest. We found it on our Disney College program, and I tell all of my friends about it. It's soft serve ice cream and it's so good. So if you guys want to go there, please go there, because it is seriously the best. So yeah, I think my favorite part is just going to the parks by myself and being able to go to the parks free of charge whenever I wanted, and just meeting some lifelong friends. I think those were the best memories. Did they have good pie there or sweets? Like I was saying, the Blue Truck and Expedition Everest was really, really good. They have soft serve ice cream, and it was just normal soft serve ice cream, but it was really good. There's also a place in Hollywood Studios right by Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror that sells ice cream, and me and my friends would always go there for ice cream. So that was really good. It's Disney, it's treats. You can get whatever you want. I mainly just got ice cream all the time because I worked off all of the calories by walking around the park so much, so I didn't see a problem eating that. So any sweet in Disney is pretty good. And the last question is, did it feel like you were living Disney? And I'm not sure what this means, but we were literally living in Disney World. We were just a few minutes outside of the parks in a Disney living area. So if you guys don't know how the Disney College program works, you live on site or you can live off site. It depends on if you have the money and means to get your own apartment. But you live in Disney housing, and there's a lot of rules in the housing complexes, and it's very much like, I guess, being in college or having the dorm life. I'm not really sure because I've never experienced the dorm life, but it's very strict. You have very strict rules you have to follow, and working for Disney, you have a report card, and you can get different strikes for different things, and if you get so many strikes in so many amount of time, then you get termed. So it's definitely really strict. I don't know how to put that, but it was Disney, and you were living there, so I guess you were living Disney. So that's all I got for you today, guys. I hope I answered your questions. I tried to answer them to the best of my knowledge. Again, if you guys have any more questions about Disney or the Disney College program, please leave them down below, and video ideas as well. If you want me to read my Disney diary to you guys, I would happily do that. There's some gems in here that I haven't read since writing it, so I'm not even sure how many entries there is, but I do know I did keep a diary for some of the program. I am such a Disney fan, and it'll never change, and I'm so excited to go back and take my fiance with me eventually because he's never been. And yeah, these ears, by the way, are from Animal Kingdom, so if you guys are wondering where they are, these you can get at Animal Kingdom. They say Hakuna Matata on the side. That's about it. I don't think I have anything else to tell you. I started a new part-time job to save up more money for the wedding at a horse ranch. So I've been extremely exhausted the last few days. My body feels like jello because it's a lot of manual labor. You have to muck out the horses' stalls, turn out the horses, and all of this jazz, but the upside is you get to hang out with horses all day, and I love horses. So if videos become a little bit more inconsistent, I apologize, and same with streams. It's just I'm trying to save up as much money for mine and Tyler's future, and that's what's been going on. That's the new news I have for you, and that's the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for all of your support. I will see you guys next time. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And actually, we can just say have a magical day, because that's what you say when you work for Disney. So have a magical day, guys. Bye.